YouTube is having an aneurysm right now. Um,
Oh,
but we're
fun.
here. We're live. Let me make sure Twitch is not having that same aneurysm while we're live. Hi, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
I got a new keyboard, and it's not loud anymore. It's the soft clicky clackies.
I'm very sorry.
What do you mean? No. It's like it's the good type of clicky clackies, the not annoying ones that you can hear through a microphone.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said it was the other kind. I thought you were saying it was softer. It was no longer clicky clacky, and I'm like, that's really sad because
No,
clicky clacky keyboards are the best.
it's clicky clacky, but it's not loud clicky clacky. Is the difference.
Um, sorry. I'm looking. Do you not see that your video looks crystal clear, and I look like I'm a character in a sitcom
Yes,
who went to Mexico and they put the like yellow filter over that was like, this is how you know she's somewhere hot.
we do this every time, and I see it every time.
I
Nothing has
know.
changed.
But it doesn't look like this when I do other things. I
There's,
don't know what the issue is, but it makes me mad. Just know, everybody, I have a nice camera, I swear.
that's slightly better. I think it's slightly fixed. It's still darker, but it's not
Just
yellow
know,
hue
everybody,
anymore.
I paid money for a good webcam. I have a good webcam. It's here, I promise.
But does it work?
Yeah, just not with the way we do the system for some reason, because when I stream, it looks fine.
Well, anywho, we're gonna look at we keep saying we're gonna look at alternatives, we never do. We're gonna look at alternatives. We're gonna get this thing fixed. I'm obsessed with this keyboard. My God, it has a screen on it, and I only had to pay $30 for it, and my work paid for the majority of it.
That's nice.
Wait,
Nice.
you were so distracted. What are you distracted by?
I was looking at webcams.
No, don't go the webcam route. Don't go the webcam route. We're gonna try to bypass webcam route first because I don't think
There's
it's a
gotta be a
webcam
better
problem.
webcam out there. There's
I
gotta
don't.
be something
Oh
better than what
yeah,
I'm currently using.
there's always a better webcam, but the problem is not the webcam. I think the problem is that we're sending this through a program, an online program that is not translating it well.
Guess we'll find out.
And we're gonna have to go through Discord again because it didn't look like that when we used Discord before. The problem is there's scan lights. I'm gonna make adjustments. I'm gonna fix shit. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. I got it. I got it.
We've been saying that for so long, and yet here I sit in my yellow box.
Well, it's actually a pink and blue box.
It looks pretty dang yellow.
Well, I mean, that's not what the box color. Your background is yellow, but the box that you're in currently is pink and blue.
Oh, but you're killing me. Of all the
You
things we
hang
could
out with
say-
me. Oh, you sure you want to hang out with me later this week?
Absolutely, because you make me so angry, and yet you're still one of my favorite people.
I
Somehow
don't know
we
why.
coexist.
Oh my God. Okay, cool. Let's we have a lot to talk about because we have to talk about Emily is going to talk about RE9, and I know Emily with the Resident Evil, she will take years. And I'm going to spend 10 minutes talking about Pokopia, and that's it. And that's going to be at the end. But because I know Emily and her timeliness with talking about Resident Evil, we're going to go ahead and jump in. And I'm going to start with backlog shit first because mine's going to be quick. Button. Since the last time we chatted, I have finished technically one game, and I talked about the other one I finished when I would talk about both. I finished Trails in the Sky first chapter, like the day before last podcast, and then on the day after the last podcast, I finished Road 96. And both games are very, very good, and I highly recommend both of them, and I am waiting for Trails in the Sky second chapter, because they left you on a bad cliffhanger with a kiss, and then, oh, I have to leave now, and you have to come search for me. And it's like, why did you do that to me?
Is this like a game that's releasing per chapter? So it's not a full game. It's just one chapter out, or it's a sequel and they just call it the first chapter?
So this is a remake of the first Trails game that Falcom did that was released on the PSP. It's like this 2D game. And it was released in 3 chapters then. I don't know why they didn't just combine them into one. But the first game alone was 40 hours. So maybe that's why. But yes, the second chapter releases this year. They're releasing them year after year because this one came out last year. The second remake comes out later this year. So My God. Other than that, Road 96 made me fucking cry, and it's short. I beat it in 7 hours. And it is
Wow.
a powerful game. That's one of those games I'm going to drop off to you because it's short and you will take 2 days to play it and be like, what the fuck?
Okay. I'm up for it.
Man, you were very easy to convince. Why?
You know, it's low effort. If you were like, it's 100+ hour game, I'd be like, talk to me in 3 years. But you said it's 7 hours, so I can do that.
Yeah, on average, it's like 8 to 10. I beat it in 7, so that tells you. That's it for my backlog. I know you don't have much of backlog update, but I'll let you go ahead.
I mean, I have beaten a game on my backlog since we last spoke, since we last did podcast.
Since you were last year, yes.
I have beaten Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Twice now. And as for my book backlog, I am on my 20th book. So
oh, Jesus.
We're doing pretty good. I've also finished one of my TV shows that was on my backlog for the year, which was The Pit.
We talked about that last time.
Oh, well, sorry, fine. Just watch it. It's good.
I realize I can watch The Pit because it's on HBO, isn't it? Because I'm pretty yeah. And I only learned that because I finished a show on my backlog that I've been wanting to watch forever since it ended. I say forever. It ended last year. I finished The Righteous Gemstones, and that show is wild. It is not what you expect. It is wild.
All my coworkers watch it, and they have described it to me in great detail. So it does sound very good and very funny.
Well, see, I thought going in like it was just purely a comedy. It's not. I mean, it is funny, but like it is just bonkers. I highly recommend it. Okay, I got 2 short ones, and I got 1 medium one, and I got 1 long one.
I have 1 small one, but it ties in with our main story for the day.
Well, the first one I want to talk about also ties in with our main story for the day. Okay. So maybe it's connected. So we'll see.
Are you announcing Resident Evil news?
Kind of. I mean, it's kind of news. It's like baby news that isn't really news. Okay. RE2's director wants a not scary version of Requiem with cute zombies so he can play it.
This, yes.
And, good for him.
But also, I don't know what to tell you other than like, it's like being like, I want an easy version of Elden Ring so that I can play it.
I want an easy version of Elden Ring though.
Universal.
Problem is, I do want a easy version of Elden Ring. Hi, Cassandra. Oh, by the way, this is my second stream for today, and I streamed with Cass earlier. So.
Oh, what did you guys play?
It's Monster Hunter Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yee. Dad still loves me more than you, Cass.
I'm going to talk about the second piece of news related to Resident Evil, which is in this article you pulled up. You just kind of didn't mention that part. A Resident Evil DLC was announced. There's also going to be a multiplayer mode added or minigame mode added. The announcement, Blake, if you want to play this video, was very, very funny.
Where is it?
I think that's a video attached in the article.
This one? This is the director saying he was the...
Can you play it? Because I think that's the...
Oh, it's loading.
DLC announcement. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a video that looked very similar. Anyway, yes, there is a Resident Evil 9 DLC in the works. I don't think they gave a specific release date, but it's a story expansion. There's also going to be a minigame mode, which I assume is going to be akin to the Resident Evil 8 minigame mode. There's also going to be a photo mode added. I'm hoping they add a proper New Game Plus.
I can't find the Capcom.
Around May, it said. Okay. You just skipped out of it.
Well, this is not the official Capcom one. I don't want some random dude talking over it is the problem. And this is some random dude who's sitting in the corner who's going to talk over it.
Okay. Just go a little further back in this one.
Okay. Add more content first, the much awaited photo mode. Why has photo mode always been like on the side?
Oh.
Minigame mode.
Yeah, so it did say it's coming out around May.
Yes.
Ethan
One more
must
thing.
die. Why does his bird say Ethan must die? That's
Oh, wait, wait, what did that thing say? Hold on. Forbidden Requiem?
Yeah.
Oh. Biohazard.
That's the name of the DLC.
That's Biohazard Requiem is what that one says. Oh, because it's Resident Evil. That's Japan. What the hell? Okay, see, this dude keeps pausing it. Dude, stop pausing it. I'm trying to watch this.
I thought that was you pausing it for a minute.
No, it's this man. It's this fucker.
Anyway, we don't need to watch the whole video. I just wanted to show that he had some really funny photo images to go with it. But yes, there will be a Resident Evil later coming out in May of this year, which is very exciting.
So that's quick. I feel like it's very quick.
Yeah, very quick turnaround. It'll be 2 to 3 months after the game.
It's quick because Capcom just released a game on Friday. They're releasing a game in 2 months, and they're releasing DLC now in May. Capcom is on a roll this year.
They're on a roll. I doubt it's the same teams though.
It's not the same teams. Anywho, on to the next short piece of news, and this is Emily related news. The voice of Yoshi has been announced, and it is Childish Gambino. Donald Glover is going to be Yoshi.
Which is very funny. I feel like that's very on par for the rest of this voice cast.
Yeah, and freaking Luis Guzman is going to be in this too. I think that's very goofy.
It's a wow. No, it's not goofy. It's Yoshi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong franchise. Gorge.
Yeah, that's a wild one I did not expect.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm glad Donald Glover has kind of been an enigma lately. I haven't heard anything from him.
I don't really have any opinions on the voice actors. None of them are Chris Pratt, so it's a win in my book.
Well, one of them technically is Chris Pratt. So.
None of the new ones are Chris Pratt.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. And then Luis Guzman is gonna be Wart, and then who are you gonna be, Issa Rae? Honeybee. Oh, the Honeybee Queen. The Honey Queen. It's if you haven't played, you played Galaxy. I know you played Galaxy.
I have.
Yeah,
yes,
the big Queen Bee that you talked to.
Sure.
So
it's been a long time, but sure.
I'm excited for this movie. It's next month, I think.
Yeah, next month. I'm
day?
excited too.
Mario movie.
It's April 17th.
Release date. April 1st.
Really? Wow, I thought it was the 17th for some reason.
Yeah, April 17th is Pragmata's release day.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, probably. I talked about it. Medium news and kind of frustrating. Not necessarily for you and I, but for other people. Sony is no longer going to release their games on PC. They're done. They had their fill after 2 to 3 years, and they said, you know what? No more. I don't even do it no more. We move on. And so Ghost of Yotei, for example, is not going to PC, even though Tsushima's on PC.
Oh, that's interesting that they're moving in the opposite direction of Xbox, where Xbox was like, actually just put it on everything. And PlayStation was like, actually pulled it back.
So the reason that they're pulling back is because the competition with Xbox is just fading away.
Yes, I think that's true. And I think Nintendo has the brand power and the IP power to demand exclusivity. Mm-hmm. I don't know if PlayStation's IP is going to be able to hold up to that. I don't know if people will go out and still buy a PlayStation to play the exclusives, even if they have a PC. I think PC players still go out and buy Switches because they want to play Mario or anything, because Animal Crossing, and you can't get it anywhere else. But I don't know if somebody's going to go out and buy a PlayStation for Ghost of Yotei.
I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. I guess we're going to find out. This whole thing is dire, especially with the whole fact that you can't even, one, we're probably not going to get a PS9 until, PS9? What the hell? I'm skipping a couple. Yeah, PS6 until probably 2030, which we don't need one. I said this in the last podcast. We don't need another PlayStation, right now. I think we're good for farther out than the 7 years they usually do. I think this could be a generation that lasts 10 to 12 years. But Sony's going to do what Sony's going to do. I don't know. That's my medium piece of news. It's very weird. Very weird call, especially when it comes to if they want sales numbers for software to go up, especially because software is what makes them money. So.
Yeah, Cass, that was a big jump. We made it all the way to PS9. I blinked and we were there.
Guys, I'm 90 apparently, and we're getting the PS9. Last one, and this one's a doozy. This is the long one. Some information about a guy named Jeff Kaplan, who was a vice president over at Activision Blizzard, and one of the reasons that Overwatch exists. Neither of us are Overwatch people, but I think it's important we talk about this. And the reason that he left is that around 2020, essentially, like, he was excited just because this game was doing well and it was very good, competitive, etc. Essentially, the higher ups told him, "Hey, if this game does not make this much money, and if you don't keep pushing microtransactions, blah blah blah, then we're going to lay off 1,000 people, and it's going to be your fault."
That is very similar to what they did with Veilguard, where ad came out, they're like, actually, it has to make this much money within this amount of time, and if it doesn't, we're going to lay off all these people, and we're going to cancel like this series. And I think that's game companies setting up specific brands for failure, because they want to get rid of them.
It's evidence that, you know, these shareholders are not gamers themselves; they are just shareholders. No. They are looking for a payday, and they don't understand what people actually want, and they are shooting themselves in the foot and are not going to get that return on investment that they're looking for because they don't know what they're talking about.
It's also very akin to the Kojima Konami dispute, right? So I mean, it's very depressing, and it's sad that that's the route we seem to be going down. But I don't know if that will change unless. I don't know if that will change.
Very few companies don't fall into the same thing. Like, the two that come off the top of my head are Falcom, which is a JRPG company that's just been doing the same thing for years and have been doing great, doing fine. And then Capcom, which Capcom is probably the biggest of the companies that I don't really think have this major negative controversy, business practices, et cetera, et cetera. They just like, oh, this is, we're going to make this thing that we want and people want this too. Okay, we're going to release it. Also, we're going to, make it better for everybody, etc.
I think Nintendo also doesn't do like microtransactions and things like that, but Nintendo also knows where to make its money.
Yeah, Nintendo knows they're going to buy things. I mean, Capcom does do microtransactions, but they're not like, oh, people buy these microtransactions or we're going to lay everybody off. I can't think of
mostly play Resident Evil and they don't have microtransactions, so.
Monster Hunter does, but like, that's Monster Hunter. And it's all cosmetics too. It's like, you're already paying for the game. You don't need the cosmetics, etc. I mean, be more like Capcom, I guess. I don't even love a lot of Capcom games other than Mega Man and hopefully Pragmata, but like, be like Capcom. Don't be like Square Enix, where you make shitty mobile games. You played
Resident Evil 7. You should be here to defend it. You've played that game.
RE7, the one where I almost shit my pants, regarded as the scariest Resident Evil game of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think 9's pretty up there with it at this point now.
Well, I mean, yeah, they said they brought a lot of things back from 9. We're gonna do that now. We're done with the news. That's all my news stories, unless Emily has another thing she wants to throw in. But Emily now is going to talk about Resident Evil 9.
Yes. Yeah. I'm so excited to be here, guys. This has been a long time coming for me.
I'm mostly going to keep my mouth shut.
I don't know. Chime in. Ask questions. Add them in. If you watch my channel at all over the last few weeks, I've been streaming my first playthrough of Resident Evil 9. It was incredible. I didn't get spoiled ahead of time. I had a great time with it. I think it took me about 12 hours by the end of my first run. So now let's talk about it. Let's talk about the 9th installation of the Resident Evil series. I mean, the 9th mainline installation. Definitely not the 9th total. So what was Resident Evil 9 Requiem? Essentially, this game was the combination of two very different game styles in the Resident Evil series. And this was something I equated to kind of what Assassin's Creed did when they had the open world games and then they had the smaller stealth games, and they said, we'll give you one of each and then we'll come up with something new. So Resident Evil 4 and kind of Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6 were all very action-oriented games. It was a lot of acquiring thousands of pieces of ammo. It was fighting thousands of different enemies, lots of different hordes. And whereas Resident Evil 7 and kind of Resident Evil 8 was a mix of both of these, was a first-person horror. Hi, sister. Also, G.
Hi, G.
God, sorry, that's a line Leon said at one point in the game that just absolutely set me off. So 7 and 8 were more of these like first-person horror experiences. God, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. He's got the Karen early 2000s haircut. He's wearing a fur collar, because he wore a fur collar in 9 and can't let it go. I don't understand it. I don't understand his aesthetic. But essentially what Resident Evil 9 did was really interesting. It took both of the action style gameplay from Resident Evil 4 and the horror style gameplay from Resident Evil 7 and merged them into one game. Whereas where you play as Leon, one of the protagonists, you are very much playing in that action-oriented gameplay style. It's third person. You have tons of different weapons, tons of different ammo. You're just kind of brute forcing your way through hordes of enemies. Where you play as our new protagonist and a new character to the Resident Evil series, Grace Ashcroft, you're going to be playing in first-person horror. You're not going to have a lot of items. You're going to be having to do a lot of stealth. You're going to have, what I told my friends, a pistol and a prayer, essentially, when you play as Grace. You're going to have 5 bullets in a pistol, a makeshift knife that's just half a pair of scissors, and you're going to be doing your dang best. And I honestly loved that experience. I thought it was fantastic. I was really worried with how 4 popular is for the series, how popular the 4 remake was for the series, and then the fact that the newest iteration before this, Resident Evil 8, was also kind of a 4 reskin. That Resident Evil was just going to continue doing that. That it was going to be like, hey, the style of 4 and Leon S. Kennedy, that makes us a lot of money. Just keep showing them out. And so I really appreciated that they approached it in a different way, and they kind of blended those 2 different gameplay styles, and it kept it really fresh at times. I did see some people complain that it felt frustrating, that every time they felt like they were getting in the groove of the gameplay, they would switch to the other character and the gameplay style would change again, and that was frustrating. But for me, it kind of kept things fresh and interesting. You'd get a little comfortable where you were at, and then it would shake it up and you have to get comfortable with something else. And it did something I didn't know Resident Evil could do when I went into this game, which was make me appreciate Leon S. Kennedy.
Whoa. ACAB means Leon, okay? Hold up.
But, like, I'm telling you play the first handful of hours of this game as Grace, and you really do just have a pistol with a couple of bullets. So you are sneaking, you are praying, you're getting caught by zombies. It is terrifying, it's frustrating, it's stressful. And then you shift over to play as Leon, and I had a moment where I approached a zombie, and without hesitation, Leon pulled out his axe and just beheaded the zombie, and like it was nothing. And I was like, oh no. Am I enjoying playing as Leon? Oh, Leon, I've missed you. Look at all these guns you have. So it did make me appreciate his character in the end and appreciate that gameplay style. That if you had asked me before Resident Evil 9, do you want a gameplay style akin to 4? I would have told you absolutely not. I would rather have something akin to 7. But playing the first half of this game as a Resident Evil 7 type game and then switching to that Leon Resident Evil 4 type mode made me really appreciate it. And then it was nice to go back and forth. So I think that was something they did really well. I think it was really interesting. And I think they nailed that. In terms of the gameplay, I don't really have many complaints. You look suspicious.
Yeah. One, how's that boot tasting?
I'm here for Leon S. Kennedy. I'm here for the number of guns that he had in his pockets. And also the massive pockets.
It's the guns in his pockets. Sure. I'm sorry. You really needed to change that phrasing.
How big his pockets are? You've seen.
You need to work on your phrasing, him, please.
Nope. I can't say anything else. That's just what he has.
Uh,
Um,
the next question was: is he still a bootlicker himself? Like, is he still like?
oh, I'll get into that with the story a bit. Not really. I mean, I'm sure that's still deeply ingrained in him. I don't think Leon has changed who he is, but that wasn't really. We didn't deal much with the government in this one,
Okay,
so that didn't come
you're
up
not
much.
saving the president's daughter this time.
We're not saving the president's daughter this time. We're not fighting with Claire about the right approach to take. We're not leaving people to rot in jail because we're a cop and they're a prisoner, so therefore they're inherently wrong. So he
I'm
didn't get much of an
holding.
opportunity to be bootlicker in this one, I would say.
I
But
I'm the one who caused the vocal stim, but I'm holding back the vocal stim of singing "My Date with the President's Daughter," the decom from the 2000s that I loved.
never hold back that song. It's a beauty. Never hold back.
Anywho, sorry for the interruption. Continue. It's just vocal stims going off in my brain.
That's actually another good point I wanted to bring up when we were talking about the inventory. That is something that also reflects the games that they're based off of. So when you play as Grace, you have a Resident Evil 7 type inventory, which is like you have maybe by the end of it 12 pocket spaces. Whereas Leon in the Resident Evil 4 style has a giant briefcase that can fit 12 different types of guns, hundreds of things of ammo, and it's just insane. So that was also something that they committed to those two different gameplay styles. And that, I thought they did that very well. In terms of the gameplay itself, it plays very smoothly. It's very satisfying. The stealth sections are very good. The only thing that I kind of questioned was Grace. I don't know how to describe this. Grace, when she wants to craft an item, needs a new secret ingredient in this game, and that's blood. And so she gets this little injector thingy, and she goes around, and every time she kills a person, she sticks it in them, and she slurps up some of their blood, and then she uses that to make items. I didn't care for that mechanic of running around trying to get blood. Do I have enough? Where did I leave some blood lying around? Oh, here's a entire tub full of blood. I'll come back to this later when I need more blood. It was weird. I feel like they swapped it out for chem fluid, and I don't know that I really enjoyed it or that it brought much to the gameplay mechanics in any way, shape, or form. So I was a little bit mixed on that. But otherwise, in terms of the functionality of the game, it was fantastic. You played in an asylum this time, or a care center, they called it. And that brought an interesting aspect to the enemies that you fought. Of course, they were all zombies, but instead of just being, they're all the same type of zombie, etc., they all had characteristics. So there were zombies who couldn't handle the light, where if you turned a light on, they would be attracted to that light to turn it off. You had other zombies who couldn't see, but were very, they didn't like noise. So if you made noise, they would come running at you, but if you stayed quiet, you could kind of avoid them.
Oh, so like the huntsmen. They were the huntsmen.
Yes, or like...
I'm sorry.
No, I had to think of who the huntsman was for a second. G, I hope your first day in your new job goes super great.
Also, G, good call out for the Megan Fox line. That's a good reference, and I'm here for it.
Megan Fox would be keen for what?
Oh, Megan Fox and her now ex-husband, Megyn Kelly, used to drink each other's blood because they thought they brought each other closer.
She had the ring that had blood in it. What was I saying? Oh, yes. And then there's another vampire who liked to sing, or not vampire, she just looks like a vampire. She's a zombie and she likes to sing, and she can affect the enemies around her. They brought back Crimson Heads from one. So just the different types of enemies, even in the care center. Obviously, later in the game, we get the Lickers and we get the Tyrants and all of that. But even just the variety and the types of zombies and how you approach them was very interesting. You're making a face.
Yeah, you called one of them a liquor, and I'm like, that's not a good name for a song.
Lickers are...
I don't.
You've seen them before. Google a Resident Evil liquor. You've seen these things before. They're in all the movies. They're in most of the games, aside from 7 and 8, I guess.
So they're the one that I played.
The one that you played, they're not in. had to have
Oh,
seen
it's
them.
just Venom from Spider-Man.
Yeah, except they lick you.
Yeah, that's what Venom
kind of-
does. I guess they're more like
that's kind of their
Carnage.
shtick. Yes, those are the lickers. They're introduced in Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, and I think maybe Resident Evil 4. Yeah, I didn't name them, to be clear. That
It's
was
just a
not
bad
my
name.
But they also hunt based on sound, so you can sneak by them if you're very quiet. But they also make an appearance. So anyway, I thought the enemy variety was also really cool. There were a lot of obviously very unique enemies. You have the girl, they call her. Me and my stream, we named her Madison. I think her canon name is Marie, if you read into the lore a bit.
Oh, wait, is that the girl who was like behind a glass thing who was blind, or is this a different girl?
That's Emily.
No, you're Emily. Nice try. Try again.
So is that. So is that child. Her name is Emily. But if
I don't think two people can have the same name. That's not allowed. Sorry.
If you saw any of the Resident Evil 9 trailers, she's the really, really large monster that chases Grace. Can you pull up an image? Can you search the girl Resident Evil 9?
The girl RE9. Images. Oh yeah. Oh, hello. How you doing? You come here often?
She's massive.
I remember this.
She's absolutely massive, and you have to deal with her several times throughout the game. He always has Grace too, which is pretty tragic. Also, just quick shout out. I guess not shout out. I want to shame Leon S. Kennedy. I want to shame him for a lot of things, but specifically at the beginning of the game, Grace and Leon get separated, and he was like, "Here, take this gun," and he throws her the gun, and she's like, "Oh, cool, a gun," and then you open it up, and he left her one bullet. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say he's scum for doing that, quite frankly.
Thank God.
I actually thought it was because I only left one bullet as Leon, so then when I did it again, I made sure to not use the gun once as Leon so I could give maximum number of bullets over to Grace, but it turns out no matter what you do, there's only one left in the gun, and that really made me mad.
Yeah, this makes my heart happy that you're back to your normal Emily self. You're no longer glazing Leon, the boots out of your mouth. I'm glad to have you back. You know.
Listen, I'm not here for Leon. I'll insult him more before this is done. Mostly his inability to open his frickin' mouth without having some kind of stupid quip that I'm sure he writes at home. They're not even that clever. A lot of them just felt very akin to the Resident Evil 4 quips he made.
You hang out with me. All I am is stupid quips.
No, not like this. Like, he watched a woman. I need a second opinion. He watched a woman. She was standing there, and a man with a chainsaw approached her incredibly slowly, and Leon did absolutely nothing. He just kind of stood there and watched, and eventually she gets ripped apart with the chainsaw by the doctor. And then the doctor looks at Leon with the chainsaw, and he goes, "Oh, I'd like a second opinion." And I was like, I hate you. You just watched a woman get murdered. You did nothing to help her. And now you're like, "I'd like a second opinion." It's stupid. It makes me mad. Everybody loves it, but it makes me mad. It feels very insincere a lot of the time, and I would like some level of sincerity from my main characters. And eventually he does give that level of sincerity. So I'll give him that a little, but that's the core game mechanics. And I thought they were great. I didn't have much of an issue with them aside from the blood thing wasn't really my I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it brought much to the game. Character-wise and story-wise, I have a number of bones to pick.
Oh.
Several, in fact.
Great.
Starting with my biggest issue being that this game was released on what I believe is the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil 1.
Okay.
So I think that's why we went back to Raccoon City, which I'll talk to more about the main story and how that all relates and what the plot is. Leon's a character, and then, big spoiler alert, at the end, we get Chris.
Let me guess. I was gonna guess.
Oh, sorry. Who did you think it was gonna be?
I thought it was gonna be Chris. I was gonna say Chris is gonna show up, but
yeah. So to be hateful, because I love being hateful. Kathy, if you're listening, I know you're not because it's a
Hi,
weird
Casey.
Time. But hey, Casey. Cassie, if you're here, turn it off. because she loves Chris. Was in 7. Chris was in 8. Then we got the 4 remake, which was Leon. And now we have 9, which is Leon. And Chris is also in. Where's Jill and Claire?
Yeah.
Where are the female characters from this series? What happened to them? Because you know who wasn't at the fall of Raccoon City? Do you know who wasn't present for the original Raccoon City incident? Chris. Do you know who was present? Jill and Claire. Why weren't they there?
I watched a video recently that said the basis for every mainline Resident Evil game, including Code Veronica, is that eventually either Chris is currently missing or goes missing to some capacity, and 7 might be a slight exception, except for he shows up at the end.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that 8 is about, like, 8 or 7 are about Chris or where Chris has gone or Chris is missing, but a lot of them relate to that. Also, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Our podcast froze on my screen, so I just want to make sure we were still going.
No, you're fine. Okay. I'm double checking on my end, but go ahead.
Just refresh, and it's still loading a little slow, but as long as you all can still hear me and we're still going, I'm just gonna.
Oh, mine is saying we're not live. Are we live? Can you hear me?
Mine says we're live, but it's frozen.
Wait.
We're not live anymore.
You hear us?
Mine also says we're no longer live.
It says streaming. I have no errors popping up.
They're on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube. So Twitch is having issues right now.
Is Twitch down?
Yeah, I'm checking.
This says no problems at Twitch.
Oh, no, there's a spike. As of, like an hour. Oh. No, it's still not that bad.
So maybe it's us.
I don't think so, because they wouldn't keep going to YouTube. There's something else. I'll figure it out. Continue on.
Okay, but we're still live on YouTube?
Yeah, we're still live on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we're back on Twitch.
Oh, great. Yay.
I didn't do anything. I have not changed a thing.
It was so weird. Anyway, just to kind of bring us back to what I was talking about, it's not that I inherently dislike Leon or Chris. Kind of do. But it's more so the fact that it feels, because there's part of this that feels inherently misogynistic, and it almost feels like because the protagonists are all of a certain age, they're in their late 40s to late 50s, depending, right? That it feels like they don't know what to do with their female protagonists, because they're like, oh, how do we make a 50-year-old woman hot? What do we do with that? You know, Leon, you just give him bigger muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a couple wrinkles, but he's still a stud. What do we do with an old lady? What do we do with Ada? How do you make a 50-year-old woman a hot spy? We don't know, so just don't have her in it.
Capcom, this is for you. I need you to look at me and listen to me. Like, pay attention to me. If you want to know how, this is how. This is how. Melissa Tomei. This is how. This is how. It's not that hard. Are we?
We're down again on Twitch.
I think it's a Twitch issue. I don't think it's an us issue.
Okay, well then I'm just gonna ignore it and keep going on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, why do I hear myself?
You shouldn't be able to anymore if you could.
Yeah.
It might have been because I opened YouTube, but it's just so frustrating. It's truly like they believe we're now looking at our Frozen stream.
Oh, now we're back live. No problem. Continue.
Okay.
Marissa Tomei.
Okay. Sorry, you're showing the YouTube screen is 2 videos of us. Can you it's like videoception of us.
I'm not showing our Podstation.
Okay, there we
you're
go.
behind.
There we go.
Yeah.
You fixed it.
Yeah. I fixed it a while ago. Marissa Tomei.
You're really behind on Twitch or YouTube. So yeah, it made me really mad. I was accepting of Leon. And even at one point, you find out that the woman helping Leon through his headset is Sherry, who is a kid in Resident Evil 2 that Claire spends the whole dang game saving. And Sherry and Leon don't mention Claire once. They don't talk about her at all. They don't talk about Jill at all. And then at the very end, they're like, thanks, Chris. Good thing Chris came to save us. And I thought about screaming. I was so angry when Chris was revealed. I was like, unbelievable. This could have been Jill. This could have been Claire. Where are they? Where's Carlos? Are they all dead? Why have we reduced this series to Chris and Leon? And I just feel like it's because they don't know what to do with the women. And so they were like, oh, we can't add the 40-year-old, 50-year-old woman in here. Let's bring in a fresh new 22-year-old woman. And I don't say that to shame Grace, because Grace is an awesome character. So proud of that girl. She's scared. She's got anxiety, but she's doing her dang best. But it felt like they were like, we need a young, fresh 22-year-old girl for Leon to protect. And then this 22-year-old girl is going to find a child. And she'll care for and love the child. And then at the end of the game, she'll become a mother and adopt the child. Just like Claire, throughout Resident Evil 2, found a child and took care of the child and watched the child. It's like, if we have a female main character, she has to be protecting a child. I'm done. I'm done ranting about it. It made me really mad.
Okay, hold on. Maybe you can fill in some gaps for me, because I have been wondering this. The last time we see Leon and all of them actually, well, I don't know. Is Jill and Claire in 6 or no?
I don't believe so. I think Jill might be, but I think the last time we see Jill is Resident Evil 5. And I think the last time we see Claire is Code Veronica. I do think there's a movie that came out in the last year or two that has Jill in it, but I think it's an older movie. They're all together in some of the movies, some of the CGI films. But the last time I think we saw Jill was Resident Evil 5.
I'm looking right now. That's the animated film. Yeah, RE5 was the last mainline game. And then Claire Redfield, which,
might be Code Veronica.
I'm looking.
Because she's not in 4 and she's not in 5, so unless she makes an appearance somewhere.
Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Okay, yeah, so not a mainline game. I think the last game she was a playable character in was Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Or RE
which I guess
Revelations
technically also
2.
isn't a mainline game. But if we're going off the mainline games, the last time I think Claire was a playable character in a mainline game was 2, and for Jill, 3, because you couldn't play her in 5, I don't believe, unless she had a very small section.
So, like, okay, anywho, besides the point, right. RE5, RE6, like, they're also in, like, their 20s, from what I understand. All these characters, like, in their 20s, maybe early 30s.
30s, late 30s.
Yeah, why the massive jump to early 50s?
So Resident Evil is operating in real time.
Yes.
So they are operating with the fall of Raccoon City happened in 1996 or 1998. I don't remember which one. And then Resident Evil 9 takes place in the year 2026. So even though there's years between, they are operating on a real world basis. Like Resident Evil 7 came out in 2017 and it functions in 2017. It takes place in 2017.
Okay, because there's
so they all take place the year that they actually are released. So they're released and operate on a real time schedule. So that's just the natural age progression.
So there's no way in hell, Leon's going to still be fighting zombies at the ripe old age of, old as shit.
I don't know, man. They've got another 20 years, I think, to Leon's, 70, and then they'll maybe, it's time to put Leon out to pasture. But I think they're going to milk every ounce of it. He was, 50-ish in this game, and he had wrinkles, but they made him even larger than he was in Resident Evil 4, and even stronger. So,
I mean, okay, to back up that point of that happening, I mean, my dad's kind of the living proof of that, being a reality.
It's just
my dad's in his mid-50s. This dude is buff and stronger than he was.
But Leon in Resident Evil 4 is already insanely buff and insanely large.
Yes.
And this is like they just added more in a way that doesn't feel very realistic. And then they were like, where's the female for him to protect? Somebody throwing a scared 22-year-old with a child. But in terms of the rest of the story, there are parts of it I do like, and I want to talk about kind of the general concept of it. So the premise of Resident Evil 9 is that we are now about 30 years post the fall of Raccoon City, post the bombing of Raccoon City and the outbreak.
Yes.
And we are finding that survivors of the Raccoon City incident are all, not all of them, but some of them are all getting this same disease and dying from it. And Leon, we learn very early on in this game, and Sherry are both sick with whatever this is. And so Leon is working on finding out why survivors are getting sick and how to stop it. Meanwhile, Grace, an FBI analyst, is sent out into the field for the very first time. She's a little baby. She's never been out in the field before. Because she is also sent to investigate these deaths and these murders and figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. Cultivate is Leon and Grace end up in their investigations lead them to the same places. And essentially, there's this thing called Elpis that they tease the whole time, and this is where the story starts to lose me a bit. The whole survivors are dying from the same disease I thought was really interesting. And there's a lot that they do with that that's really interesting. Going back to Raccoon City, all of that is fantastic. They have this element of Grace being the chosen one, and there's clones of Grace, and there's clones of Wesker that they call Zeno, and they never confess that he's a Wesker clone, but I feel like he's a Wesker clone. He looks just like Wesker. And there's an orphanage of children that they have cloned to be Grace. And Emily is actually one of those children. And she's the secret key to unlocking Elpis. And they try to say that Raccoon City was bombed, not because of the outbreak, but to hide Elpis, whatever this Elpis is. And then the end of the game is you deciding to destroy Elpis or save Elpis, not really understanding what it is. And when you save it, you find out that Elpis is an antiviral. It's basically an antidote to all of the bioweapons. Mm-hmm. That head of Umbrella, Oswald Spencer, felt very guilty and repentant in his last days and decided to make an antiviral that could combat any of the viruses that he had made during his time. Interesting too. Good for him. Good for his repentance. The Chosen One thing, I don't know why we called it Elpis. That's such a stupid name coming from an organization who named things the T virus, the G virus. It felt very out of left field. The clones thing was kind of weird. There's a lot that I still don't get. I need to watch like a 3-hour lore video because I think some of it was just nonsense, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And, Resident Evil's always had a certain level of nonsense baked into the equation, so I guess that wasn't a huge surprise. But something that really stood out to me in the story that I wanted to talk about a bit was you get to go back to Raccoon City. Which, for those of you who don't know, both 2 and 3 takes place in Raccoon City. And this is the first time in the mainline series we've gotten to go back since 2 and 3. And it's the first time we've ever gone back post-apocalyptic Fallout. Incredibly nostalgic. It made me really happy. It made me really nostalgic for the game, for the other games. We got to see some old friends. Mr. X, our little dapper gentleman with his hat, paid us a visit. We got to fight him again. It was just a really fun nostalgia trick, and I really, really enjoyed that portion of the game. That being said, how many secret laboratories can you have under one city? Because I think the one at the end of Resident Evil 9 marks the 4th. And that feels a little excessive. But yeah, there were some parts of the story that really, really worked for me. But the larger scope of the Chosen One thing and the Elpis thing, it didn't really do much for me. And I feel like there was perhaps some missed opportunities with going back to Raccoon City to bring in old characters and to tie some loose ends up perhaps. And then instead they made it this weird clone Chosen One thing that didn't really interest me. And I didn't get to see Claire or Jill. Or Carlos.
I do have a question you haven't addressed yet. And it may be related to what you were just talking about, but I don't know. What going on with Leon's hand?
So that's the disease. That is, like I said, all the survivors are getting sick from something. That's the progression of the disease is that over time the blackness, the black mark progresses throughout your body, and then eventually you die of it. or you turn into a new type of zombie. And it turned out in the end it was a latent T virus infection, so it was the same infection from Resident Evil 2. It had just been sitting in the bloodstream and something was activating it. And again, all of that I thought was incredibly interesting. I thought that was a great way to bring us back to Raccoon City for the 30th anniversary of the series. I thought it was a great Easter egg, a great nostalgia trip for fans. A great way to bring us back to the original, like the inciting incident of the series. I just think they muddled the waters with all this Elpis Chosen One nonsense, and I think they missed opportunities to bring characters back.
Would you bring Grace back?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if Grace would come back. She doesn't seem like a Leon person who would be like, this was the worst day of my life, give me 5 more. She seems like, wow, that was the worst day of my life. I think I'll quit my job, which she didn't, and raise my child. So when we find her at the end of Resident Evil 9, she has actually adopted this child, Emily, that she found, and is teaching her how to read, she says. So that's where we leave Grace. I think she's pretty content with where her life is. I don't know that she's going to be leaping back into any field assignments anytime soon. But I would bring her back. I very much liked her. I very much enjoyed her. Would I bring her back at the expense of getting Claire back or Jill back? I don't know. But, like, the thing for me is I'm not asking for a lot. I didn't need Claire to be playable. I didn't even need her to have, like, this huge... I saw this thing a couple days ago where it's like, animated 2 different cutscenes depending on which side of the room you approach from. So if you approach from this side, you get a different cutscene. If you approach from this side, you get a different cutscene. And I'm like, they could go through all of that, and they couldn't have some throwaway line about making sure they sent an antiviral to Claire and Jill to make sure they didn't get the same, like, survivor's disease. That's all. It had to be one voice line. He has a line at the end where he's talking to Sherry, and he's like, don't worry, one of these antivirals has your name on it, Sherry. It could have just been an extra few words. Oh, and don't forget, we gotta send one to Jill and Claire, too. Just some kind of acknowledgement of their existence. I think it would have made me happy. They just didn't do it, and I don't know why.
I have one final question for you. And it's the one that's been bugging the internets all this time since the game has been beaten for the first time. And G, you'll be interested in this, too. That ring on Leon's finger, did he marry Ada Wong?
The ring's not real.
Excuse me?
The devs confirmed that was like photoshopped or somebody made that or something, but the ring on Leon's finger, it's not real.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
They said his marital status. Here's the thing, and I think this ties in with the Claire and the Jill thing I was talking about. I just don't think Resident Evil gives a flying F about the personal lives of these people. I don't think they care to have friendships or romances. I think the only kiss you get in the entire series is that one between Leon and Ada in 2. I don't think there's been a romance since. And that was a manipulative romance that didn't pan out in the end. So I just don't think they care to comment or speculate on anything like that. I think you get these little nuggets in these people's lives, and that's it.
Leon's married to the job, according to Cass.
Leon, he could be married to Ada. I don't think they'd ever tell us if he was. I just don't think they care enough. I don't think they care about... I think there's so much of like the fan base that wants to be like, yeah, Chris and Jill are still best friends, and I bet Jill still talks to Carlos, and Leon and Chris are besties, and Leon married Ada, and they just never confirm or mention any of that. The most we got was at the end of Resident Evil 9, you get a cutscene where Grace is on the phone with Leon, and she's like, I'm teaching Emily how to read, ha ha ha, bye. So I don't know that we'll ever get that, to be quite honest. Especially, like, this was the 30th anniversary of the series. If there was a time to be like, Leon's married, or Leon still talks to Claire every day, this would have been it, and they didn't do that. I will say, I got the bad end at first. There's 2 different ends to this game, by the way. I got the bad end at first. The bad end ends, the ending is Leon getting shot in the head and dying.
Oh, that's a good ending. That's a good ending. What do you mean the bad ending? That's a great ending.
You don't get any of the cutscenes, and you don't end up getting the antiviral that saves the world. But Leon does get shot in the head and die, and I was like, whoa. I think I got the bad ending. They want to kill their protagonists. And not like in a you died start from your last save kind of way, but in a like everyone sobbing and crying over Leon and the game ending and her being like they're carrying Leon out in a body bag. So that was very intense. But I feel like there was something else I had to say, and I'll remember once the podcast is over. But I know you want to talk about Pokopia. Yeah, overall, I think the gameplay's fantastic. I think it does a great job. I think it balances the stealth and horror with the action adventure very well. I think the story was great at pulling at the nostalgia and introducing a new character into the mix. I don't think it did a great job with the Opus thing, and I think there were some missed opportunities, or I just was personally sad about the missed opportunities. But overall, I think it's a fantastic game. I think they did a great job. I think Capcom should be proud of this one. I think they should like their female characters a little more. I think they shouldn't be so afraid of menopausal women. But I don't know what to do about that one.
That's just Japan sexism. We can't,
I think it is. I think tragically that is part of it. There is hinting and rumors that Code Veronica is going to be the next remake treatment, which is a Claire game. So maybe that will reignite some love for Claire on the Capcom front. I just hope people support it as much as they do the Leon games, but we'll see.
I think it will. Hold on, excuse me. Sorry. I hear, people praise Code Veronica and the two Revelations games, from what I understand.
Code Veronica is very much beloved. People have been begging for a remake of that game for a very long time, and I think it desperately needs one. I can't even play it. I watched my friend play a little bit of it, but even just, moving in that game is a challenge, and I just don't think I would enjoy it. So I would love for them to remake that. I would also love, I saw a couple years back maybe that they were like, oh, for the 30th anniversary, we're going to do a Resident Evil 1 remake. And I would love that as well.
Technically there is an RE1 remake. It's just for the GameCube.
Yeah, it's a modern remake. It's the Resident Evil 1 remake. It doesn't feel very modern. And especially since we have a 2, 3, 4 remake, I would love to just go back and get 1 there for completion's sake. So that 1 through 4 can at least be brought to modern consoles with modern graphics and gameplay styles and mechanics and whatnot. And then if they never touch 5 or 6, that's okay.
The two worst ones, the two that everybody hates.
Not everybody. I found somebody the other day who does, in fact, love Resident Evil 6. And
as a person who knows nothing about RE6, what the hell is wrong with you? I don't know anything about it, and I know I'm supposed to hate it, so I hate it.
I also want to say I saw this interviewer at some gaming convention talking to fans, and he was like, "Kiss, marry, kill, Leon, Chris, or Ethan." And almost everyone unanimously chose to kill Ethan, and I think you're all evil little haters. I think Ethan is a fantastic character, and I think y'all need to pull your heads out of Leon and Chris's assholes. Thank you.
Unfortunately, you're in the minority, and you'll never win out because you're in the minority.
I think a lot of it's just the nostalgia. I think people started playing this series long before me, who came in at 2018 or 2020 even, and started playing through the series and loving it, and just didn't feel 20 years of love for Chris and Leon, whereas other people do. And me, I was like, Ethan, that dude, that was just a normal dude, and look at what he achieved. That was just a normal dude who loved his wife and loved his daughter.
Well,
so I respect that, man. But that's the end. I loved it. Like I said, I'm on my 3rd playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot more to do still. I'm planning on platinuming this one if I can make it through Insanity mode. We'll see. I'm a little nervous about Insanity mode as a Grace, but we'll see. If I platinum it, I'll come back, stream, and let you know how that went. But that's it. I know you want to talk about Pokopia, and I know I went over time.
Oh, no, you're fine. We're going to only briefly touch on it. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Not too much time, because there's not a lot to really say. Pokopia truly is... it's very Animal Crossing, without a doubt. More Animal Crossing, I think, than anything. It's very Dragon Quest Builder / Minecraft. It doesn't feel heavily Minecraft, because Minecraft, and I think this is a part of the reason neither of us like Minecraft, is that you go into Minecraft with no idea really what to do, or really a basis for what to do, and not as many there's a ton of options, but you have to discover them yourself, and there's no it's overwhelming. It's too much.
Yeah.
it's more akin to Animal Crossing and Dreamlight Valley, Dragon Quest Builders, and someone said Viva Pinata, but I can't verify that one as I've never played Viva Pinata, probably because of all the Pokemon you get. And it's very, very charming. You get five story-based open areas that you can design in any way you want. Try to raise the environment level. Try to get all these Pokemon happy. Where they also give you main quests. You have things to do. More akin to Dreamlight Valley. There is a main overarching story, and you kind of, as you're going to these different areas and you're doing the main quest, you're gonna find notebooks on the ground and tablets. And your whole thing is like trying to figure out, where did the humans go and why am I having to make Pokemon appear and everything. My initial theory was that we're all technically dead. All the Pokemon.
I did hear this. Alton was telling us about your theory the other day.
Yeah, my theory is that all the Pokemon were dead. It's not true, but I'm like, oh, that would make sense because there's a whole like lore to like this is a Pokemon graveyard, etc. So I'm like, oh, this
would
is
that be?
Huh?
How depressing would that be for Nintendo to offer up a kids game that's like the Pokemon are dead, build them heaven?
Yeah, I think it's depressing, but like Pokemon has done more wild stuff in the past. I mean, Drifloon is a Pokemon that steals children for energy, so like, for example, I wouldn't put it past them. But I was wrong. It's still a bleak outcome. You learn by reading these tablets and stuff. The humans went up to space because the world became uninhabitable and desolate, and they just could not survive there anymore. And that's it. Like, they just left because of that.
It's Wally.
Huh?
It's Wally.
It is Wally. But you are slowly putting the world together, and discovering Pokemon to be able to do that and building it in your own image. You get to make your own little houses that you want to make. You can put Pokemon in these houses. The way you discover them is you build their habitats, and that's their home before you put them in a house. They give you building kits, so you don't have to go in and like Minecraft your way to build a building. You can do that if you want, but you don't have to. They're like, here's a building kit. This is the material you need. These are the Pokemon who have to build it. This is how much time it's going to take, and you do it, and then you have a building. And there's just a lot of variety. I don't know what it is about it, but there's just something that's grasping me. It's hooking me in, which I haven't felt since 2020. 2020 when Animal Crossing released and everything looked bleak and everyone was depressed. It's just now 2026 and everything looks bleak and everybody is depressed. Except we now get it in Pokemon form, and it's wonderful. And I think my favorite part is when I told Emily about this before. I said there's 6 areas total. And that is still true, but I mentioned 5 before. There's one area completely devoid of story that is essentially a blank slate that you can do whatever you want with. It's not story related, but you are able to build it out any way you want and essentially make it your own area. You can do that with the other areas too, but it's easier in this area because it's not a flat plane, but it's easier because there's not a bunch of stuff in the way and you don't have main quests that you have to get done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's way more stuff you can do. And Eevee's there. You just get an Eevee when you go there. And that's where you also discover that open area is Pallet Town. That is you know what Pallet Town is. I know you know what Pallet Town is.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Non-Pokemon player. Everybody knows what Pallet Town is. Pallet Town is the first area you go into and you start in the original Pokemon games. That is your hometown. That is the first region for Red and Blue. We confirmed we are in Kanto. We are in the original region. All the areas you go to are related to the Kanto region, and I started seeing that after I discovered Pallet Town. And it's very, I don't know, it's whimsical, and I love it. Except they made Poliwrath a dumbass.
I found out about this yesterday too.
Yeah. Well, let me say why. The game will like kind of give you like tips and tricks boxes depending on what you're supposed to do for the main story. There's one part where you find a Poliwrath, and he wants you to break down all this sand so he can get up to this dojo. And you break all the sand, and he's like, "Huh, you did that so fast. Too bad there's no use for any sand." And the game screams at you. Actually, just to let you know, you can do things with sand. You can make glass with it. He says something later on where he's like, "Wow, you picked up all that sand. Once again, too bad there's nothing you can do about it." And the game says, "Sorry to sound redundant here, but in fact there is something you can do with sand. You can make glass with it." I love that the
Builder?
huh.
He's not a builder. How would he know?
It was very fourth wall breaky, and it made me giggle. And I like when I can giggle. So no, it's a good time. The only complaints I really have, and same complaint I have with Animal Crossing, I don't like waiting. If I have to smelt iron, don't make me wait for it to smelt, which takes forever. Or to make glass, don't make me wait. Or a building's gonna be done tomorrow as opposed to in 15 minutes. I don't like waiting. And I have been time traveling because I ain't got fucking time for that, man. I'm not gonna
I
wait.
support that. If you want to time travel, I time travel in Animal Crossing all the time. Dreamlight Valley, you can't time travel because it will break your entire game. But if you can do it, I recommend it.
Yeah, I don't. I need every cozy game, make your own worlds game to understand. Nobody likes the waiting stuff. Nobody wants to sit there and wait.
I do know people though who are like daily checkers for Animal Crossing, where they'll check it every single day and be like, I did my things for the day, and like I guess they're not deranged because like once they're done, they're like, that's my sign to put it down. I'll pick it up again tomorrow. Whereas like I'm like, ugh, I don't want to wait 24 hours for Blathers to move this house or whatever, for Tom Nook to move this house. Let me time travel, and now I'll just keep playing. And they're like, nope, that's a sign that I'm done for the day, because I do other things.
Oh, I think another thing is there's too many blocks. Like, your blocks fill up your inventory. Inventory, it's an inventory thing. It's the same as Animal Crossing inventory. That's another complaint. Like, give me unlimited inventory at this point. I'm tired of like having to build a storage unit. Also, why does the storage have to be connected to the crafting table for me to be able to just access it from the storage, or it has to be in my inventory or in the storage box attached to the crafting table? Why can't it just say, oh, this is in all your storages and all the different islands? Why can't I collectively pull from all that? Dreamlight Valley figured this shit out. Why can't you?
Well, the worst part is they just added that in Animal Crossing as well. So they could have added it in Pokopia because they've added it in Animal Crossing now. So Nintendo knows how to do it. They just chose not to. They'll release it as part of the DLC in 5 years.
Nintendo did not develop this one. This was the Dragon Quest Builders developers, but they paid them to do it. But still, no free passes here. You guys suck for that. Also, I realized I didn't have chat open. It didn't matter. That's it. That's all I have for Pokopia. It's a U game. I hate to say it. I know it's not a reason to get a Switch 2, but when you do get a Switch 2, get it. You will enjoy it, even as a non-Pokemon girly.
I'm still planning on starting a server with you and Tia.
Yes, and you can mess around with it then.
And I played Tia's a little bit, but we'll see. I'm definitely not, like you said, I'm not buying a Switch 2 for it, but maybe one day, if I have a Switch 2 and Tia loans it to me or something,
when the next Zelda game comes out and it's Switch 2 exclusive and you have no other choices.
Yeah, when Animal Crossing or Zelda comes to my doorstep and knocks and opens and it says, please, sir, and I say, okay, because I like you.
Or
the rest of those kids, I don't need them.
Or when they make another Paper Mario game and after 1,000 Year Door remake came out, they're like, oh, we screwed up. We're going to go back to the old style. And they fix it.
I don't know, man. I think I'd have to wait for the Paper Mario game to come out and have it reviewed before I would dip my toe into that water.
After what they did. After what they did and made the worst Paper Mario I've ever played in my entire life. And I played I have played all of them.
Was rough. And again, I don't want to touch on it because I'm just going to talk about how Nintendo's losing its spark. But its charm.
We already have an episode on that.
I know, but I don't want to. That's why I'm saying I don't want to delve back down into it because we could be here for another hour. But I'll give it a go at some point.
Okay.
It's not me not playing it is not a sign of I don't think it's a good game. It's just simply I don't have a Switch 2 and I don't plan on purchasing one at this moment.
Well, that being said, next week we do have a main topic that we've been planning for a long time, but these other things have gotten in the way to do it. We are going to talk about hub worlds next week, and
Yay!
I've been slowly curating a list of good hub worlds that I just love and appreciate. So I'm excited for that. And then I don't think we have anything after that. What's after that?
So you, dear listener, cultivate your list of your favorite hub worlds, and then come chat with us next week about it. I think after that we have one we want to talk about Mass Effect, some mid-sized games, and then into April we'll be getting into Pragmata, maybe perhaps Tomodachi Life. We'll be getting into more news in April.
I forgot Tamagotchi Life is coming out.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I forgot
I think I'm gonna
Tamagotchi
give
Life.
that one a go because that one's coming out for Switch 1, so I think I may give that one a try.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I'm not doing it mainly because I get Pragmata on the 17th now, and I need to get it done. And then May we got 007 First Light. Yeah, and May is when we go back to bi-weekly. So at the end of April, get ready for bi-weeklies, and then you get more streams of me. Yay! Don't sound so excited.
I think that's all we got.
Yeah. Before we go, just remember, kids, if you live in the South right now, it's about to get real bad for us. Like, weather's about to suck from, like, 10 p.m. to, like, 2 a.m. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's already happened. And either I lived or I didn't. So.
Either he lived or he didn't.
We'll
play that at his funeral in a few days if you don't. Stay tuned.
Well, if I die, this episode's not going up. That's all you have to know.
If you die, no, I'll get the files somewhere. I'll come down and get the files off you.
If something happens, this computer's destroyed, and that's where all the... Well, no, you just have to pull them from Twitch.
Off the pod, man.
Yeah, you pull them off the VOD before they eventually get deleted by Twitch, because Twitch is a bunch of hateful people.
Yeah, well, I'll get it. Don't worry. I'll have those last words ready to go.
Okay, well, that's going to be it forever. So, okay, bye, everybody. Have a good night. Don't do anything stupid. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.